Good day, everybody.
Good day, everybody. Welcome to episode 35 of the Good Day podcast, where Maxi and I talk about our adventures down under. You join us here today in Yamundi.
Yamundi.
Yes.
The sunny coast.
Right outside the sunny coast.
I mean, it's part of the sunny coast.
Yeah, it is part of the sunny coast. And we've had a fun week, lots of adventuring around and hanging out with the dogs, enjoying this beautiful area, this beautiful house, and yeah, we're loving it down here.
Yeah, it's a really nice house. I'm very happy to be here. It feels so clean.
Yeah, this house is like so much nicer than the last ones. We got a big outdoor pool, nice big yard. We got some bush turkeys running around our yard, and
gorgeous landscape around the town.
Yeah, and we're close to the water too. Like, we're back into like the surf culture. Noosa, Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast, Byron, down that way is major surf culture. But we've been out of the surf culture for a while now.
Thank God, because now we don't have crocodiles to worry about.
No more crocs. We don't want to see any more crocs.
We don't want to see any more crocs.
Yeah, the crocodiles, it said like up at Fraser, which is only 2 hours north of us. That's like driving from New York to Cape Cod, that there was crocodiles up there. But the host said, or one of the homeowners was like laughing at us because we were like saying that.
I think that maybe once upon a time there's been a saltwater croc
sighting
on the left side of the island where it's kind of swampy and gross. But then they stuck up all those warning signs to be cautious, but I don't really think it's croc territory.
Yeah, I don't think it's croc territory either.
They said Gladstone was the bottom border of croc territory.
They also said I was saying Gladstone wrong. I said Gladstone.
Yeah.
But that's how you would say it back home.
Gladstone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once we learn, we really adapt. The host here told us that we talk like locals because we said Newey and Tassie and
Melbourne and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, but more markets. Yamundi is notable for its markets. They do markets on Wednesdays and Saturdays. The whole town is basically a market town. They have just one main road, and on the side of it is this huge, like, leveled terrace park, I'd say. And on each level, there's like there's probably 300 vendors at least. Yeah.
At least. And massive lots for parking.
Yeah, it's like a fair. It's like the Big E.
Which really fairground parking in this town.
Yeah, fairground parking everywhere.
And we thought that Wednesday, when we went on our first official day here, was busy. Saturday.
Packed.
Yeah. We went to Yandina Markets first because that's an even more hippie town that Corey and I loved. We checked it out a couple days before. We went to a health food store there.
Yeah, to get some organic flour, baker's flour, and some wild rice, which wild rice was so bad.
Yeah, wild rice, not good.
Unless I just cooked it wrong, but it was gross.
It was really hard, so you may not have cooked it right.
Yeah.
But we got really good chocolate at the health food store, and Corey made homemade chocolate chip cookies with this like organic chocolate and organic flour.
I've had 2 and it's 11 a.m.
I've had 2 as well. And I had 2 before 9 a.m.
Yeah. Oh, but at one of the markets, at the Yamundi markets on the Saturday, or was it the Wednesday? I think it was on the Wednesday when we went to it. And one of the vendors, I had no idea what he was selling. Probably some sort of
bracelets and stuff.
Yeah, just some junk.
Yeah.
He just started talking to us, and then all of a sudden he started talking Spanish.
Well, he said, "Have a good day," and I said, because we were just walking by, and I said, "You too," and he goes, "Where are you from?"
Yeah.
"America." And I couldn't believe how quickly he caught on to that, because I said actually maybe 2 words.
Yeah. And I didn't say anything, and then he immediately just looks at me and starts speaking Spanish. I think he said like, "Oh, where are you from?" in Spanish, and he's like, "I'm from," but this was all in Spanish, so I didn't really understand it.
And we instantly said no, and he's like, "Oh, you don't speak Spanish?" And then he kept going, and he kept looking at Corey, saying like, or Braziliano, and we were like, what is going on? Because we had no idea what he was saying.
Yeah.
And then he goes, no. And then something about Argentinian.
Yeah, it was so confusing because, like, if I think what we got out of it was he thought I looked Argentinian and he thought I was, like, from South America. And I think I've been getting that a lot.
Yeah, you've gotten that a fair share of times.
I think it's, like, my dark skin, and then when I have a little facial hair, it's like, oh, wow, you do kind of look like a Spanish, South American. A lot of Maxi's friends, was it here or in Rome?
No, yeah, in Sydney, when I studied abroad, I would always show people pictures of my boyfriend, my then boyfriend, and say, like, oh, yeah, he's visiting in June or whenever you came. And, like, the day before he arrived, someone said that you were Mexican, and I was like, what? You guys thought this the whole time? He's actually Irish.
I know, that's a common theme. I think people just think I'm South American, and I think that's what that guy thought. He thought I was South American, and at first I thought that was a compliment, but now I don't really like Argentinians that much. Just because there's too many of them after Magnetic Island. They all have a cult there.
And they all get the jobs.
Yeah. I don't know. Just at first it was cool. Like, oh, wow, you're from Argentina. That's like literally the other side of the world.
Yeah, like, tell me about Patagonia.
Yeah, but now it's just like, oh my God, there's so many.
There's so many. And French people.
Oh, I hate the French.
Oh, Corey just hates if there's too many people in one area.
Yeah.
So it's nothing personal.
I don't know. I heard that France is just a road trip and a drive-through state to get to Italy.
I like France.
That was a quote from Top Gear.
It's funny.
Because they're all British and they hate the French.
True.
Yes, but I thought they confused me as a Argentinian at the markets, and
Corey won't stop talking about it. I think he's flattered.
No,
it's okay. Moving on.
Moving on. We had been in this area 5 years ago.
Yes, more than 5 years ago.
More than 5 years ago now. I think we told the podcast the last time that two of my college roommates, Gabe and Johnny, lived in the Sunshine Coast, and we went and visited them. One of the places we went to when we were visiting them was Noosa Heads, and we did a walk there, and they surfed, and we took some cool, iconic pictures, I think, from that time there.
Yeah, the funniest pictures.
Yeah.
And I took pictures of you guys jumping in the fairy pool. We had really good memories. I took a picture of us, or they took a picture maybe, I probably use a tripod, but of us at Hell's Gates, and I had someone take a picture of us there, and we got there.
This week, yeah.
Yeah, this week. But there was a huge detour.
Oh my God, it was ridiculous.
A walking detour.
So normally you could do this coastal walk, and it's like just one big headland, basically. And you walk along the coast, always says water views, really no elevation, pretty easy. But I guess they're doing maintenance to the trail, and it makes you detour up the whole headland, so like to the top of the hill and then back down. It added 2 miles.
It was so much extra walking.
Yeah, like...
Not that we're anti-exercise, but it was just unexpected.
We were there in the afternoon, and we were like, yeah, let's do a quick walk out to Hell's Gate and look at this iconic spot that we were at 5 years ago with Johnny and Gabe. And then when we got there, we were like, oh my God, let's just keep going. And then we kind of put it into fifth gear and started it grinding away on our walk. And then we didn't realize how far it would be to get there. And at the end of the day, we looked at my watch, and it was like almost 5 miles of walking. Like, what?
Yeah, when we started, there was a man in front of us who...
Oh, yeah.
He was like speed walking, because we're fast walkers too. We're practically New Yorkers. And we could tell that he kept like glancing behind his shoulder to see how close we were.
Well, first we just stepped off trail to take a picture, and then we started again, and then he almost jogged by us when we started up again, and then from there on he would he would stop and look at something, and then as soon as he saw us coming, he would start again, and he just wanted to be in front of us the entire time.
And he did smoke us. I don't know how that happened.
I think he might have taken the closed trail section.
Yeah, it was like he beat us by miles.
Yeah, he was we were at the top of the hill.
He had to have done something.
And he was coming back. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with him, but he did.
It was just funny.
Us.
But yeah, it was cool to remember. I vividly remember being in Noosa Heads with Gabe and Johnny, and I remember looking out through the trees. There's this iconic photo that you'll see in so many different formats of the pointy little leaves in Noosa Heads. And looking through those at the waves and the surfers and whatnot. I took my own picture like that, and I've seen everyone who's gone there has taken pictures like that. Just the iconic photo of this area. And it was nice to...
Yeah, it was nice to, like, remember going through. I didn't, like, really remember much, but I remember Noosa and walking, doing the pools and stuff, and there was good surf. It's cool to see the surfers, like, again, back in, like, surfer vibe culture, I, like, want to buy a surfboard. Like, I could see a future of myself buying a surfboard here and then learning how to surf for the next month, or how we only have like 45 days left.
48 days left until Hawaii.
Yes.
Hawaii.
But then I'm like a little more practical, and I'm like probably not going to buy a surfboard and learn how to surf in this short amount of time. But I was thinking about it, and like Australia is known for like surfing and stuff, but really there's only it's the lower half of the country is actual surf. Like, there's not really that many places you can surf the last place that we were posted up in a long time was like Bustleton. And I don't think there was waves there. No. Except for Margaret River, maybe, like, but still. Like, we hadn't been there since March, really.
I mean, I think there's plenty of surf spots. It's just not in the north, or the northeast, or the northwest.
Yeah, but that's like where we were in the last, like, I feel like if I wanted to start surfing, I should have started earlier. But then I'm thinking, like, oh, wow, there's not really that many surf spots.
Well, think about South Australia that had plenty of surf towns, but very remote, and lots of great white sharks in the south.
Yeah. That is what it is, but on to the next. On to more markets, actually.
You can surf with Johnny.
Yeah, I'll surf with Johnny. That'll be fun.
Perfect. That's a different Johnny, not Johnny Schneider.
Yeah, Johnny Pinchin, our buddy out in Nui.
Perfect.
Yeah, and back to more markets. Saturday was a big market day for us. We double dipped. We went to the Yandina and the Yamundi markets. The Yandina ones are known for being more hippie and stuff, so we checked those out first. And what was your favorite spot?
We got a really healthy turmeric, pepper, ginger tincture.
Yes.
That made us 6 cups of healthy morning tonic.
Which was really good. And we got also really healthy donuts.
That too.
That were sugar coated and hand stuffed. I didn't even know you could stuff like
freshly filled.
Freshly filled, yeah. They just took like a bottle and squeezed it into the middle of the donut. I didn't know how that's how you stuff a donut.
Really?
No, I had no idea that's how you stuffed a donut. I always thought you like baked around it, and I was always like, how do they do this?
What?
Yeah.
This is wild.
No, I'm serious. Like,
we need to cut this out.
I don't know. Like, I've actually never really thought about it.
They pipe the filling into a donut.
I've also wondered. Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense now that seeing it, but like, it was just not something that filled my mind.
That's precious. So we got to choose our filling, and we got very healthy donuts.
I got strawberry. That's healthy.
I got vanilla custard and chocolate custard.
Sure.
And the owner really liked us for being American, and he said he did a donut tour around the U.S., and we said, "Where'd you go, Dunkin' Donuts?" But
he said cool. Branford Beach Donut Shop was his favorite, and I couldn't agree more.
True.
No, he said somewhere in New York was like the best donuts, so.
Yeah, we already forgot. And somewhere in Santa Monica. But yes. What was your favorite?
Oh, I loved at the other market the one ice cold ginger beer that was so delicious, and the honey that we got.
Yeah, I got talked into getting creamed honey. This woman had all these different flavors of creamed honey. I've already invested in a creamed honey in Tasmania. We smuggled it out and across the Western Australia border as well. Mm-hmm. But these were flavored creamed honeys, and she had me trying like so many of them. We ended up getting the vanilla bean creamed honey, and it's so good. It's almost gone.
Yeah, at first you were like, I don't know, this is kind of like, I feel bad getting this because I talked to her so much. I got coerced into buying something. I don't think I'm actually going to eat this honey that much, but literally there's a third left of the jar now.
Yeah, we're bad.
Yeah, but like we put it on sourdough and it's just delicious.
It's really good.
Yeah, I love that. Love those markets. I think the markets are today, now tomorrow, so we'll probably go to them again and check it out more. And yeah, and getting around has been good, but a couple issues arise with the car. Not really big issues at all, but on Fraser Island when we were there, it would be like really slow to start. Like it sounded like the battery was like getting low. So I'm in the process of fixing that again. I think it was like the terminal port that connects the negative ground to the main battery, because when I looked at it, it was all like, looked like salty and like corrosive around it. So I don't know if the battery just needs to be charged or this port, and it was that connection port was the only one that had different connections than all the rest of them. So I figured that was creating some issues, and I'm attempting to fix it, as well as getting paint to touch up some of the spots that our rear bumper was duct taped and ripped the paint off. So our car is going to be looking less ghetto now.
Hopefully.
And running perfectly.
I know, I love our car.
Yeah, I love our car too. I should actually look into like, what if we took it back? Like, what if? I mean, you don't have a car back home.
Yeah, I don't have a car back home.
Would you like to drive on the left side of the right side of the car on the right side of the road?
I would say no, but honestly, I don't go very far. I could do Brantford on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah.
And like back roads to other towns.
And you'd have to do the conversion to kilometers an hour on the speedo to miles per hour.
Yeah, I mean, I don't run very fast, so I'd probably just vibe out the speeds I should be going.
Yeah.
Are you gonna quiz me? Or are you about to quiz me?
Yeah, I was gonna quiz you. What speed is 60 miles an hour in kilometers?
100?
Nice.
Yeah, that one's pretty easy, huh?
Good one, mate. Yeah, and we also checked out, that was the car. The car is good. The car is healthy. I love the car. I want to take the car back. The car also brought us to Noosa Heads again. We went back there.
It just took us back.
Yeah, it took us back. And this time we did a little bit of exploring around the town and seeing how it's changed since we were there 5 years ago.
We could not find parking.
Like, I think 5 years ago was this little surf town that had a cool national park at the end of it.
Yeah, a couple shacks, a couple like super casual barefoot type of cafes.
Yeah, it's like bougie now.
Yeah, it's kind of fancy now, and so many people that you cannot find parking, and they have many lots.
Yeah, there was, I think it's the most touristy place now. Like,
it could be. And we ended up parking in a residential neighborhood, which was also packed full of cars. And that modern houses in that neighborhood were incredible. So I guess all these rich people are moving in if they were already there.
Yeah, but while we were parking, a funny story is that, like, so there was this circle road. So, like, I don't know, just a big circle. There was a car behind us, and we went left, and they went right. Because I think they were thinking that they went the other way, maybe we'll find a spot before we did. But there was no spots on this road, and then all of a sudden I see one on the left side, so it's like my right of way to pull in. But right in front of me is the car that was behind me, so they must have been speeding around looking for a spot. They throw on their blinker, acting like they're gonna like turn around and pull in. So I just pull right into the spot in front of me, and then the lady's like yelling at us from her car, but then I see behind, she gets a spot that I missed behind me.
That made me very uncomfortable.
Oh, it was so funny because she just looked at us and was like waving her hand.
She did?
Well, she was just like shaking her head, and like I could tell she was mad.
I asked you if she was mad and you weren't answering me.
I was focused. I thought she was gonna attack.
Cringe. But it all worked out. We all got spots.
Yes, we all got spots, and we
all had to walk a mile to the town anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Not quite that far, but.
And we went to the beach down there. It was a pretty nice, calm day. But the beach, we've been in beaches where there's been like 4 people and that's like a packed beach.
Yeah.
This beach was packed.
This beach was packed with people who all brought these pop-up tents, these beachy tents where you sit your family under it and hide from the sun. Australians are so afraid of the sun. They hate to see a sunny day coming.
They hate it. They don't know the sun is good for you.
Like, I'm telling you, there were hundreds of tents. I'll post the video.
Yeah, it looked like probably like downtown San Francisco.
It looked like a market was happening on the beach.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. It's just realized your joke. No, it looked much classier than that, but...
Tents everywhere, people everywhere, packed beaches, and then the couple that posted up behind us, we got a lot out of them. Well,
man, they were
entertaining.
Full-blown fight,
and I thought it was sounded like, you know, when the voice just doesn't match the person.
Yes.
Like this, I thought it was like a maybe like 55-year-old woman.
Oh, I thought she was like 60, 70.
Yeah, I thought she was. It sounded like an old woman yelling at her husband. I was like, oh, wow, this is kind of out of character for like an old couple to be arguing like this. And then eventually turn around and it's just like not that.
She was like maybe a little bit older than us.
I thought
maybe our age.
Our age, yeah, and like Greek.
Yeah, she had some type of accent.
But just. I don't know, you heard more of the conversation than I kind of picked up on.
Sure. If you guys want the tea.
Yeah, here's the tea on a random couple that was behind us at the beach.
Arguing. So he was Australian and she was obviously his wife because she was saying, well, he kept saying stop, stop because she was screaming and like it was quiet around us.
And packed beach.
Yeah. And so she's like, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. You're the one that does this to me. I'm not going to stop. Stop talking to me if you want me to stop. And she goes, I'm the one here alone 6 days a week. You come home on the 7th. If you want someone to tell you what you do is beautiful, you should have married your mother. And he's like, stop, stop. And she goes, I'm not going to stop. Stop talking to me if you want me to stop. And then she kept muttering when he stopped talking and whatever. And then, yeah, she was still complaining about something. And then she demanded they go swimming together. It was just some weird...
Yeah, weird vibes. Definitely a pull-up at the beach. Mad was pretty funny to see.
I honestly really felt bad for them.
Yeah.
Instead of, like, finding entertainment in it, I was like, this is sad.
Yeah. Sad to see. But a really funny thing that we did see was there was a bunch of paddleboarders and surfers out there. Not really much waves, though. It was basically a flat day out there.
Yeah.
There was people learning how to surf. There was, like...
you should have gone out there.
Should have gone out there. I need a bigger day, you know?
Yeah.
I have been surfing before. Like, I've been surfing in Newport with, like, Gabe and Johnny and Cole.
Pixar didn't happen.
No, I've been out there. I've tossed on the wetsuit in the winter, gone out there, paddled out. But whenever I paddle out, I just sit beyond the breaks so I don't get crushed by a wave. That's what I did.
You never rode a wave?
No, I've ridden waves in, but, like, not good.
Like on your tummy?
Yeah.
What? You didn't stand up?
No, I tried to stand up.
Okay.
But they always would give me, like, a short board, which was really hard to surf on. But, yeah, a couple people doing it. And there was a guy, an older guy, on a paddle board. And I started watching him. And it just looked like he was really unbalanced. And, like, one wave came and he, like, almost fell off. And I was like, hey, Maxi, watch this guy. He's not paying attention. And there's another wave coming. He's going to get this. It was just, like, a really small wave. So, like, not much could happen.
It was literally a flat day. And he was at the shore, like, where the water meets the sand.
2 feet of water, if that.
Yeah, I didn't even know how he was in that much shallow water and still standing on his board. But then the smallest wave just like
crashing behind him. This is like a half a foot wave, so small.
It was so small.
And then it crashes into his board, and he's like standing at the back of the paddleboard and just completely like falls straight back.
He does his little feet dance first.
Oh yeah. He like gets off balance on his feet and moves to the back of the board and literally does a back flop like straight into the water, like tombstone backflip.
It was so
Straight
funny.
down.
And he was wearing budgie smugglers.
Yeah, and then he got up and just acted like nothing happened. It was really, really funny
And he
to
had a
see.
bucket hat on that came off in the water.
Yeah, but I called it, and Maxie was happy because she got to see it too.
It was so funny. I cried. Maybe I'll have Corey reenact it for the podcast content post on @GoodDayPod on Instagram.
Yeah, maybe I'll just react to it in the pool.
Yeah.
Oh, and I don't even know if we talked about the pool at this house is gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. And we assumed naturally, like, oh, such a pretty pool, the dogs cannot come in, right?
Yeah.
They love trying to get in. They
go nuts.
Yeah. They're not very forceful dogs, but they will force their way into the pool area if you open the gate. And
Then they'll just, if you go swimming, they'll like go crazy barking on the side. And
yeah, but then we had to ask the homeowner, like, are they allowed in? And they go very crazy when we're in the pool area and they're not. And she was like, oh yeah, you could let them in, but they don't swim or anything. They just make a lot of racket.
yeah. And then so I jumped in the pool and started swimming, and the boy dog Banjo was like running up and down the pool, and I was like, I don't know, wasn't really doing much. And then he came like close to the side and was doing like spins around, and then he like lost 2 feet in the pool and was trying to like stay out of the pool, but he like slipped in and he fell completely in the pool and then just started swimming in circles.
And Corey picked him up and took him out.
But it was just so funny. He like didn't want to be in the pool, but then loved being in the pool.
Yeah. They're cute.
Yeah, he's a cute dog, and I like these dogs a lot.
I love them. We both love them.
Yeah, they're good dogs, except when they see golden retrievers.
Yeah.
And there's like 6 golden retrievers in this neighborhood,
They hate to see a golden retriever coming.
or a lab. I don't know why. It's just like they go crazy barking and trying to like run and sniff them. And
They're
stuff.
jealous of their beauty.
Yeah, they are jealous, I think.
It's too bad.
It's too bad.
But yeah, it's very hard for me to hold on to the boy dog when he's trying to get at the other dog. So now Corey and I switch dogs when we see a golden retriever coming, because I usually walk Banjo.
It's like embarrassing too when your dog's going crazy barking and stuff. Like, I don't know why dogs do that. Like, just be a better dog, you know?
No, but mind you, these dogs are amazing.
Oh yeah, they're much better than the other dog we just had, Winnie, that smell and was that dog.
We like cuddle with these ones and they come in our bed.
And they're fun and they have really good personalities too.
Yes.
Yeah, and overall the house is going really well. Like, it's a really easy house, but we've had a couple of drawbacks. Well, mainly me have had drawbacks. So the first thing that happened, mishaps, yeah. The first thing that happened was this house has like 1 AC unit, and like, I don't know, I like the fresh air, especially when it's nice and cool outside. So I would open on 2 sides of the house. There's 2 screen doors that are like inside of 2 regular doors that have just wood and glass doors. And
Like each entrance on the front and back, well, one side of the house has 2 entrances, but all the entrances have double doors. Each door has 2 glass panels. So you're looking at 4 glass panels per entrance.
nice. Yeah, and so to open them just to get a breeze inside, I opened 2 of them, and then I went and opened the other 2. And just, these doors have like these hooks that you're supposed to hook them in, but I don't know, I just didn't. I just opened them and left them. And I think we go out to the markets or something and leave the doors open.
Well, because the homeowners never mentioned the hooks.
Yeah. And I come back and one of the glass panels is shattered, like on the door. And I'm assuming what happened is I left it open and the wind like blew it back or blew it open more because it wasn't secured by the hooks. So this like door glass just like all has cracks in it now.
The bottom panel on one of the doors.
Yeah, the bottom panel on one of the glass panels is broken. So that was really annoying, and I'm trying to look into how to fix it, or like I'm not really sure. I think we're just gonna tell the homeowners that like, hey, this happened. We can pay for it, or just see what they say.
Yeah, we feel really bad.
Yeah, it stinks. Just like it's so annoying that like that happened.
And glass is so expensive.
Well, the glass isn't that expensive. I was talking to my glass plug, Dan O'Neill, and he was saying that it's not the expensive part. The glass is cheap. It's just that the labor to do it, to fix it, would be hard, and therefore that would make that expensive. So I made some calls to a glass company, and they haven't reached back out yet.
Hard at work, these Australians.
Aussies work, I think, probably 3 hours a week.
So they probably haven't heard the voicemail you left yet.
Yeah, and then another thing happened the same day as the glass breaking.
Was it the same day?
It might have been the next day. No, I think...
I don't know.
It might have been the next day or something like that. I was just going to cook eggs, like eggs and butter. And I was like, all right. And I just put the pan on the induction stove, not knowing that this one burner was the hottest burner that any induction oven ever created. And I probably only have it on there for like a minute before I put the butter in, maybe 2 minutes, just heating up. And I toss the butter in, and it like starts to catch fire. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on here? There's something in the butter? And then I bring it over to the sink, and I'm trying to like dump it out, and then I just instinctively turn the faucet on, and a huge column of fire like shoots out of this pan because I'm an idiot and I forgot that you don't put water on a grease fire, and it just like erupts up the sink there, and I'm like, oh my God. And I end up just running outside with it and just leaving it outside, and it eventually goes out. Like, it was just a little bit of butter, so it wasn't really that much fuel to the fire, but that was terrifying. And luckily nothing happened to the house, but the smoke alarm started going off, and there was, knock on wood, nothing wrong.
That was actually the craziest thing that I have ever seen nearly. Like, Corey described it as crazy, yes, but you cannot imagine how crazy it actually was. I was sitting at the kitchen counter. Everything was fine. I looked down for a second, and then Corey goes, oh my God, I think this might be too hot. I look up. I see just the thickest cloud of gray smoke pluming upwards straight out of this pan to like the cabinets above, like pluming.
It was
thick.
Pure smoke.
And then going under the cabinets and like traveling. And so this happened within seconds, and then he lifts it off the induction and it just combusts. So the pan is on fire, and it was like a large fire in the pan. So naturally I too was like, oh my God, I hope he puts this underwater, because that was just the first thing I could think of. He puts it underwater. It gets bigger. I think he's going to burn his hand and his like wrists off, because the fire is like blowing as he's walking with it to go outside. Things are dripping off the pan on the floor.
It was crazy.
And the whole house was thick smoke.
So we had to open all the windows.
And luckily, by the time he got outside, it was all set. But it was so much crazier than you think that story actually was.
It was a wild, like, 45 seconds. Like, that was nuts.
But all good.
Other than that, it's been really good, this house sit.
Yeah, the homeowners are so nice.
The homeowners are so nice. I don't understand how the pan got that hot to create a fire like that. It was, I think we later boiled water on that one, and it was the fastest I've ever seen water boil.
And it was splashing out of the pan when it wasn't that high up, the water.
Yeah, so I think it's just that one burner has all the induction power, and that's why it started the fire.
And it's the small burner at the front left. So
yeah, you
very
wouldn't
random.
expect it. Yeah.
When the biggest burner is straight up in the middle of the whole induction stove. It's a quite large one. So there's a massive burner in the middle that's like the main burner. So this is not the main burner.
Yeah, and some more positive things. Those were some two crazy events. Like I feel so bad about the glass.
Yeah, we still have to tell them, but
Yeah, I think we'll figure it out.
accidents happen, you know.
Accidents happen.
But they let us eat their veggie garden.
Oh yes, they have the biggest spring onions. I love spring onions. They have the biggest spring onion plant I've ever seen in my life. It's like,
It looks like an agave plant.
yeah, it's probably 3 feet tall, and it's like as thick as like a Yeti water bottle. That's how big these spring onions are. But yeah, so we would have a nice fresh spring onions and hundreds of cherry tomatoes.
They're so good.
Hundreds of them. The guy was like, yeah, I don't know, like this is what was growing out of the compost, so I just started planting them, and now he's got millions of tomato plants, growing hundreds of tomatoes. Like I can't even pick them how many there are. That's how many there are.
Wait, they were growing out of the compost?
I think so. I think that's what he said. Like he's like, oh yeah, like, well, I don't know if he planted some of them, but
Who knows? But yeah, they have a beautiful garden. Corey waters it.
yeah.
And turns out, although it's summer here,
They just want to be Americans.
they want to be Americans because it's a pumpkin spice season. We go into the grocery store and there's all these pumpkin spice cakes and treats. It's not pumpkin season here, I swear. I Googled it and it said that unless I was getting an American website, but usually Australian websites come up when I Google down here. But it said, yeah, fall and winter is pumpkin season, and here it's summer.
Spring here, and they just want to be Americans. So pumpkin spice latte season, PSLs.
It's funny that you know that. And Corey made a delicious dinner last night, guys.
Oh yes, this was a big one. We wanted to do this last year for our Christmas dinner, but just short ribs were wicked expensive. But I saw on sale at Woolies, shout out Woolies, sponsor us, that they had short ribs on sale. So picked them up, wanted to try it out. YouTubed a Gordon Ramsay video, followed it to a T, and they were absolutely delicious.
Spectacular. It was really delicious.
It was braised short ribs with garlic and a red wine reduction, slow cooked, and then a side of Maxi's mashed potato, avo mash, and some mushroom bacon thing.
Yeah, we had a weird mashed potato, also mishap a couple of days before, so I decided to get funky with the mashed potatoes, and I put garlic, butter, avocado into the mashed potatoes, and it was good. It tasted like normal mashed potatoes, so it wasn't that weird. But
That was delicious.
slight tint of green.
You also wanted to start some drama.
Yeah, so since we went up to Cape York, you guys know how we feel about Cape York and their awful roads and how lazy the government is. And I've been thinking about putting it in this 220,000 person Facebook group where everyone says, went up to the tip, such a great adventure. And they post pictures at the tip and they say, like, best adventure of my life, been waiting 10 years to do this. And they all write, what an adventure. And 99% of these people are not doing the off-road track, the old telly track. They're just driving the normal roads. And they probably haven't traveled very far in Australia in their life because anything else would be a good adventure compared to this. Like, this was, like, miserable traveling up. And it was fun and all, like, don't get me wrong, but, like, I've seen almost all of Australia, or at least the highlights, and anything else is a better adventure than this trip.
Completely agree. Like, there's so much better places in the country than going up to the tip. And you made a post, basically.
Yeah, I requested a post, and I did it anonymously because I know so many people love this road trip, and I didn't want to get the hate personally at me. But I wrote, like, hey, we all call this an adventure, but like there's plenty of other great adventures in Australia. They should really fix these roads.
Mm-hmm.
And people live up here, and these are their everyday roads, and it just is kind of ridiculous that this is such a popular road trip, but the roads are insufferable. And
You started some comment wars.
I kind of wanted to stir the pot, because Australians are funny when they fight online, and I got to see some of that. People agreeing with me, people disagreeing, all that. And then it got taken down after, like, it didn't grow that big. At first it was growing really big, but then it got taken down because I don't know why though. It got only like 25 reactions and probably 25 comments, but this is a huge Facebook group, so it would have blown up.
Probably one admin was like, I agree, and the other one was like, take it down, I don't like it. Yeah, and we've been kind of just hanging out this week. We got to watch a couple TV shows, and we started to watch that show, Making of a Murderer, about Stephen Avery, is that his name?
I think.
And I didn't realize that.
So it says 2 parts.
Yeah, so I was like, it's 2 episodes.
It doesn't say 2 seasons. It says 2 parts. So we start watching it, and we're like, okay, cool, 2 episodes.
And we get through the second episode, and it doesn't end. And then I'm like, how many episodes does this thing have if it's 2 parts? And I look at it, and there's 10 episodes in part 1, and then 10 episodes in part 2, each at like an hour and 10 minutes. So there's like 30 hours of content just to see what happens with this guy. And we're like, ain't nobody got time for that. So please, can someone tell us if he murdered the chick, or if he's guilty, or what's the deal? If he gets the money from the first time he gets arrested or like put in jail.
Yeah, can someone give us a thorough summary? Because we Googled it, because we just gave up on the show. But the Google answer is just so vague.
Yeah, and Google was like, the show made him look like a good guy when he's not really a good guy.
Someone needs to give us a good analysis.
So just tell us what happened. We don't care
we just
about the show.
Don't want to watch it.
Watch 30 hours of this. And then we also watched a really cool documentary called The Brawl Boys.
Brawl Boys.
And it's basically about a surfing tribe, or like surfing. Yeah, surf tribe community out of Maroubra, which is south of Sydney, right?
It's in Sydney, Maroubra Beach.
And it follows like one family, and it's a really good documentary. I think if it's in the U.S., I would recommend watching it, because it's a great, like, really well done, and just it's an old one from like 2004, and it's really cool, really interesting.
Watch Brawl Boys.
Yeah, I would recommend it.
You learn so much about the surf culture.
Yeah.
And besides that, Corey's been mountain biking a lot in this area.
Yeah, I love these trails. They're really good. There's really, like, I don't know how many trails in the area, but it's a perfect hour ride, like good elevation. Like, I think my ride yesterday was like 1,200 feet of elevation. So good downhill trails, fun uphills. But yesterday there was a guy on an e-bike, and I saw him coming behind me. Well, I first saw someone behind me. You usually don't see people in the trails because they're all directional. So, like, unless you catch up to someone, nobody's catching up to me, by the way. Too fast. But I just, like, witnessed something come from, like, behind me, and I said, oh my God, what was that? And I got scared for a second because I thought it was Yowie, and I turned around and it was actually a guy on an e-bike, and eventually he caught up to me, and I pulled over for him, and he was like, these damn e-bikers, they go too fast. But he was on an e-bike, so that was a little funny. No, he said something like, mate, these e-bikers. something Australian, but yeah, that was good. And the biking's been fun. I got to take a couple days off because I did 750 push-ups 2 days ago and biked yesterday, so I'm quite sore. So a couple days off. Maybe some yoga, maybe just some chill dog walks. And that's what we've been up to.
I've been catching up on podcasts because, guys, I have a couple podcasts that I really love, and I am so backed up on them, on the episodes, since April. Like, right before Marshall got there, when we lost service for, like, most of the year. Oh, and I lost service for most of the year. And I couldn't watch my Patreon podcasts and YouTube podcasts. And yeah, so I've been catching up. And now I have no data because apparently I must have used most of my data at that 7-week house sit with really bad Wi-Fi, because I would always turn off my Wi-Fi. And then my boss also didn't give me the Wi-Fi to the store until like my last week there. So I just burnt through so much data in 2 months, catching up on all my content. And now I don't use my phone when I'm not at the house. I just use Corey's phone. So if you don't hear from me, it's probably because I can't use my data outside the house.
Yeah, and that's it for this week, guys. Thank you all so much for listening. I think we have another week of this house sit, or we'll be on the next one by the end of this week.
Yep, we leave.
I think the next one starts
in 6 days. Oh, wow. Next one starts, soon.
Soon. So time's flying by, and we hope you guys all enjoyed this episode.
Love you.
Love you all. Have a good day.
Have a good day.